Is it running? Good morning. This is Sadi Phayet. Welcome to my channel. While you're here, please like, share, and subscribe to help me grow my channel and leave a comment to let me know what you think of my content, okay? Please remember that I have ebooks for sale on Amazon under Sadie Fayette, ranging in price from $1.50 to $6.99. I actually have 8 of those, 2 of which are small poetry books. So check that out when you get a chance, and thank you in advance for your support. I'm going to be I'm probably going to get a Cash App account so that I can take donations to help me grow my businesses. I have a lot that I'm trying to do in 2021. So I'm very excited. So this little brief talk is about what is love, about being powerful and present in your love life. And the reason I wanted to talk about that, um, I have a tarot channel, okay, my Gypsy Hermitage Tarot. And one of the things that makes tarot so relevant today is that there are people, men and women, mostly women, who are on this soulmate kick. Like they really believe in soulmates, and there's nothing wrong with that. Love is generated from the soul, so it's a spiritual experience. And a lot of what people, it's like they're obsessed with it though. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, when it comes to men and love, there's a lot of promiscuity. There's a lack of desire to be in a committed relationship. There's avoidance of marriage, things like that. And because there's so much homosexuality in all communities now, male and female, it leaves a lot of women single or without a relationship or without a partner. And so these are just difficult times to navigate, you know. Also, with a lot of the racial mixing, you probably have more white males that don't have white partners. There's a lot of black females that don't have partners because there's a lot of black men that want women from other races over black women or instead of black women. And there are women of other races who only want black men. So there's a large competition for black males in relationships. And then you have people that really don't want to date outside. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, but what is love? Is love a trend? Is love sexual fetish? I want to know if the rumors are true about black men. I want to know, and if they are, oh my God, I got to keep one. I'm willing to be the mistress or the side chick for a married man or a man in a relationship because I don't want the strain of a relationship, anyways. Or I'll break up a marriage to get the man that I want because we're soulmates and we're meant to be together. Or, I mean, just so much. But what does that mean for you that may be the victim of a situation you didn't sign up for that's toxic, right? What does that mean for you who has been so powerful in other areas of your life, but you're passive when it comes to love? And so you get dogged out a lot. Or what does it mean for you that is a faith-based woman, but you're attracted to the bad boys, right? You're attracted to men that eschew God and religion and righteousness. What does it mean for you that doesn't believe in marriage, which might mirror a man that doesn't believe in marriage, but you do believe in monogamy, you do believe in stable relationship long term? So there's so much, right? There's so much wrong with what's happening in the name of love that it's like, how can I be powerful? How can I truly bring love into my life? First, you have to transform how you think about love. You have to transform what you deserve when it comes to love. You have to transform conditioning that you may have grown up around. So I just saw a clip from a Steve Harvey show, and I do quote him a lot because he's been a player. He's been a player all his life, but there was one woman that he was not willing to let go of. And I think that that is how men work. I think most men, there's one or two women, depending on how honest they really are with themselves. And if there's two, most likely there's still one above the other in that two. There's still the one who's at the crux of the mountain, at the peak of the mountain when it comes to what that man really wants. But in the interim, will he waste the time of someone that sincerely loves him and believes they have a connection? He will. He absolutely will if you let him. So, one of the powerful things that Steve said is that you can get that relationships, toxic or otherwise, are 10% what comes to you. And you can get all that exists in the world of madness and good. So it's 10% what comes to you, 90% of what you do with it. So you have to be aware of where your toxic, or what's called in the spiritual world, karmic uh, habits come from. This is what I mean by karmic. And I'm going to have to change one of my candles in a minute. Karma has to do with what you grew up around, what you grew up seeing. If you saw your father beat your mother, that's the karma of your father. And the Bible says that the crimes of the father revisit the children. Does that mean it has to revisit the children? No. It only revisits the children if the children are not on a path of enlightenment and improvement and healing, right? Then it won't revisit the children. But if the children are just going with the flow of whatever comes up in their energy that they inherited in their genetic memory, that they inherited from this physical person who has certain habits, right? Then the crimes of the father will definitely revisit themselves onto the child, onto the children. So you have to come to terms with the fact, and this was another thing he said in the same video, was powerful. God wanted you to be here. He wanted you to be here, and it may just be that he brought you here through the agency of your parents only for the purpose of you getting here in some cases. In other cases, it's because of how your parents were and what type of spirit you had that you needed to be raised by those people, come from those people, you know what I mean, for a more specific purpose. But in some cases, it really, the crap that your parents had around you or did to you were not relevant to you getting here. God just wanted you to get here. And so he used them for that. So you have to then or now you're finding through, the repetitious experiences you're having in the name of love, you're finding that you need to heal those experiences, get rid of the paradigms that you've been stuck in because of what they were stuck in, so that you could have something new, something good, something that reflects who you are on the soul level. Okay, I don't want to get too deep because this is not, I'm not speaking to a community of people who are deeply spiritual. I really want this to be universal and something that anybody, no matter what their development with God is, no matter what their discipline level when it comes to righteousness is, I want you to be able to get this. All right. So Once you can heal the fact that you were not destined to be sexually abused, right? That's just a condition. That is not who you are. So you can heal and you can go to counseling to help you with that. Or sometimes, and I'm not a big believer in counseling because this is someone that doesn't know me. I know every tick about me. I know everything about me. I have been conscious and in my life, spending most of my time by myself. I know myself so well. So, do I need a stranger? Sometimes a stranger can have certain tools that'll help you tap into the truth of the matter. That's it. And that's all I would need. I'm the type of person, I'll hit the ground running. I'll pray, I'll fast, I'll read the word of God. I'll seek motivational information from YouTube. I will fill my mind and my soul with so much that I'll be so full, what will spill out is the crap from the past. Okay? It'll just spill out in the overflow from what I've put into my heart and mind. That'll be healing. And then continue that, stay on that. Don't let anybody take you off of that. Now, sometimes, have I ever been distracted by a relationship or a connection? Absolutely. That's taken me from my flow? Absolutely. Absolutely. And then those past issues come back up? Yep. And get in the way? Yep. Absolutely. But guess what? I get right back on my shit. Okay? That's the strength, that's the power of the human spirit, of the soul. All right? So, once you heal those childhood issues or start to work on them, start to realize, and it takes repetition, you're going to have to replace the beliefs you've held in your mind that you're nothing but a private part, that you're nothing but a whole here to be abused and used. You're not. Nothing but, right, you're a hoe. You're a male person that's supposed to just be servicing so many people. Because if you think that you're highly promiscuous to the point that you can almost not say or turn down sex with a woman, sex with a man, whatever your proclivity is, it's like you can't turn nobody down. Matter of fact, even if nobody's offering, you got to go in search of more and more and more. That is you abusing you based on the amount of abuse you suffered when you had no choice in the matter. That's the truth. Like for real. That's the truth. And then your offer for someone to be in a long-term relationship is that if they take you off the market of your promiscuous lifestyle, that they have to be the one to service you sexually as often as you would have found conquest to get in a day. Mm-mm. No, nobody is born to be your sex slave. That's now you abusing one person that really just wanted to love you. That's not stable relationship. That's not family life. And I'm gonna make a video about that because when it comes to people of color, it really has to do with the nature, and even white people, it has to do with the nature of colonization, sexual abuse, the nature of the caste system throughout time, throughout history, and how the rich and powerful have always sexually conquested the poor. Okay. And then we grow up and put ourselves right in those same situations. So, um, but what is love? So once you go through healing or get yourself on the road to healing, and maybe you're saying mantras, look up mantras or doing some chanting, to repeat loving beliefs into your mind and heart and soul, that you're praying often to fill yourself up with God's love and divine energy, that you're fasting to balance out your emotions, right? Your rage, your anger for what has happened to you. There's a lot that happens when you've been sexually abused as a child. It is. So once you're on that path, you also need to be on a path of loving yourself, learning yourself. Well, who am I really? Like, aside from that crap that I came through, who else am I? What do I really like? What would I like to have in a relationship? What would I need to make myself happy? Regardless of if I'm in a relationship, what do I need? What makes me the happiest? What kind of environment is the best environment for me? What kind of, excuse me, what kind of home would I ideally want to have? What kind of career would I like to, what kind of work would I like to do? How much money is enough money for me? How many children do I want to have? Do I even want to have children? Just really important things that you need to know about yourself. Are you the type of person that doesn't like to argue at all? Like, you don't want any conflict in a relationship. You want everybody in the household to be repressed and silent. I don't know who's going to get that. I'm so much myself. And, I've always been very feisty and had a temper. But my temper, I've really, it's diminished so much because I spent 20 years, in the NOI, in the Nation of Islam, as a devout Muslim. I prayed so much and fasted so much and didn't give anybody any problems. Like, I didn't take no arguments to the nation, like hardly at all. Nobody's ever hardly seen me lose my temper ever. Okay? Why am I saying that? Because that gave me balance. Does that mean I never lose my temper now? No, it does not. Because if you come at me a certain way, I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. That's who my soul is. I came that way. How do I know? Because I have two children and my youngest was born that way. My oldest always knew exactly what her mind was. All right? So we are born, our soul has a certain propensity and inclination, and you got to get to know yourself that way and then love yourself. So for most of my life, I haven't had romantic partners. I didn't even seek that for most of my life because I saw, I saw what was on the shelf, what was for sale, right? I saw what the options were, and didn't look very stable to me. So I know how I am. I'm not going to steal my money and give it away. I'm not going to sabotage my life. I'm very routine. I'm going to clean my home. I'm going to be comfortable. If I have a job, I'm going to work it every day. I'm going to overwork my peers at that job because I love to work. That's how I was raised. But I love to work. That even in my creativity, I love to continually work at it. I love to do the things that I've made so many, blankets since my first pregnancy. I made 10 blankets for my oldest. I made 8 blankets during my pregnancy with my youngest, because during my pregnancy with my youngest, I was working full time. Still made 8 blankets for my baby. You hear me? And all their lives, as they grow, I make bigger blankets for them every year. You know what I mean? So I know what I need. I know what I love in my home life, because love has a big part to do with your home life. Relationship does. Because ultimately, if your relationship progresses, and most people hope for this, most women do, it'll turn into what? Marriage or long-term relationship. That's the ideal, right? If it turns into that. And this is someone that doesn't know how to live with other people all day long, or if they do live with a person, they only want to see that person first thing in the morning and right and in the evening, when everything's shutting down. That's not a family oriented person. It's not. And if you are family oriented, and this is what I want to paint the picture, you got to be powerful and present in every moment of your life so that things are not coming into your life willy nilly because you're a woman that has money and you really just want regular sex. So you take on a man that doesn't have much or has nothing and is looking for the next woman to let him live in her beautiful home with her. And he provides the sex and she provides some money and a beautiful environment. That's transactional. That's not love. That is not love. That is not love. Or you get a woman for a lot of Black men, you find that white women or Asian women or Hispanic women are much more passive than Black women. They give you your way more. So you do the little things. They got you walking, they little pretty tiny dogs and shit. They got you doing the little things that make your relationship more family oriented. And they do whatever the hell you want them to do. They give you no standards, hardly. Like for real. You don't grow spiritually in most cases. Now, in some cases, do I think there could be love? Absolutely. You could even be soulmates, absolutely. But when it happens at such a large scale, no, that's not what it is. That's not. Because those situations, most people are naturally attracted to people that look like them. Because that's called what is that called? That's called natural selection. That's just like in the animal kingdom. Tigers are attracted to tigers, lions to lions, because you're producing what you are. You know, it's still a part of the racist paradigm for you to overvalue from the group that has dominated you. And that's male or female. Because when white women were not passive in the slave trade, they believed Black people were animals or devils. Go study Black history. Go study American history. Shit. Go study the history of the slave trade, of the transatlantic slave trade. The Arab world is the same. Some places in the Arab world, some countries still have slaves from the original slaves they stole from Africa. They have bred the same families of slaves from that time to today. They have their descendants as their servants today. So this is some tricky business. Does that mean there are no exceptions to the rule? There are always exceptions to the rule. But why is it being held up as something that we should all choose all of a sudden? It's trending. Same thing with homosexuality. Should homosexuality be at such a scale that you have hordes of people? And this is supposed to be based on a, uh, what is it called? Not a dominant gene, a recessive gene, but now it's becoming a dominant lifestyle? Come on. Human beings, we are so far away from being what we're supposed to be because we're not living powerfully. We're not. We're easily led into directions that have nothing to do with our natures, and it's so hard to teach us. It's so hard to tell us where we should be going, and love is no exception. There's so many women right now today that are sleeping with married men because they're all on paternity court. I always say that. But it's true. It is sickening. It's, oh my God, I haven't even watched Paternity Court in so long because I've just been more busy, and it just got too much for my brain. But um yeah, yeah. There's too many extremes today. And I have a tarot deck, Queen of the Moon Oracle, right? And there's one card that's about extremes. And in the card, you see a man's naked back and a woman with her hand, reaching over his back. And you can see it's like a sexual thing. Everything that we do today in the name of love and sex is extreme. Just think about it. Look at your own life. Look at the choices you make that hurt you, that hurt others over and over and over again to the point you got people who hate you. You got energy out there of people that hate you. You better watch your back. That's what I know. You don't get to screw me over and I stay around and you my ace. You my dude. I still want to be, not when you keep proving it to me, right? You keep trying to run me off with more and more shenanigans. And I just want to be your friend. No, I don't want to be your friend. You're not a friend. You're not even a friend. Well, you have friends sleeping with each other's husbands. You have friends, right? Stealing each other's money, stealing each other's things. You have stealing each other's ideas and going off and building businesses on their own based on what they stole from you in the name of friendship. You have friends sabotaging your life, gossiping about you wholesale since they first met you, just telling all your business to people that they know hate you, that you and them have conflicts over, but they're your friends. All of this has to do with love. You have family who treat you just like toxic friends. You have family members that you've sacrificed times in your lives for, and all they ever bring you back is the wish that you would fail and suffer. Where does that come from? And all you've ever done for them is good. That's toxic shit. Because you don't see the heart, right, of this person. You haven't paid attention to how your sibling or your parent evolved over time. Why is this happening? It didn't used to be this way. Where did it come from? Because it's always been there. There's always been something behind the scenes that is in the unseen. So, how do you become more powerful in your love life where you are deliberate? So, even if you've had multiple relationships that were toxic, abusive, controlling, where you were cheated on just crazy, given diseases by your partner, all kinds of things. Even if you've had all of that happen in your life, can you stop yourself on a dime in your life and turn things around to the point that that never happens again? And that you only remain deliberately available for someone that would love someone just like you? Absolutely. Absolutely. First, you have to reject the toxic. And that comes family, friends, lovers, husbands, wives. You have to reject those people specifically, whoever it pertains to. Right now, and I tell my business a lot because I know it can help a lot of people. A lot of people they'll never tell you some of the stuff that they've been through because their pride is too big. They have an image to portray or whatever, right? They feel like they would look stupid. Well, you look stupid trying to keep a face on. Remember the movie Why Did I Get Married Too? And Janet Jackson's character was like that. She would repress so much. She would never let anything out because she just wanted to preserve the pretty picture of her and her husband. But the reality wasn't so pretty. Matter of fact, it was real ugly. The truth of it. But what is love? What does it mean? Does it mean I saw you and I fell in love because, damn, your body is the best body I've ever seen? Lies. These days, you can buy a body. You can be born a stick figure, the human stick figure. And as soon as you're old enough, you can be like Betty Boop and shit. No matter what race, no matter what height, no matter what, you know, level of estrogen and testosterone, you can build a body today. But is that love? No, that's more fuel for the or the sexually addicted. There's more fuel for people that have unresolved sexual abuse from their childhood. That's all that is. Why is that readily available today, though? What is the purpose for all of the extremes that are happening today? Who does this serve and who is not buying into it? Do you know the historically richest families do not have lifestyles that exactly mirror the poor and the middle class? Before the poor and the middle class, things like um, not genetically, what is it called? Chemically altered behinds and breasts and all kinds of things are made available. Like they've mastered. You just need a shot and something's gonna just expand in your behind. You could take some fat from your belly these days and put it in your behind. And you might have a little bit of, cheek dimples or whatever, but men ain't gonna turn that down. You can get what's called a waist trainer instead of exercising and getting a good diet and really making yourself healthy and fit. You can get a waist trainer that you wear for 5 hours a day to cinch in. This is from way back in the day, right? Victorian times and before, where they had to wear corsets all the time because men like tiny waists. Here we go. But you want love. Okay. There's nothing wrong with being attractive, but you got to have more than that. So you can do that. I've seen women, Lord, look like they have elephantitis of the thighs and behind and hips. Although you can get hip transplants just to give you more of the hourglass shape, and it looks ridiculous compared to your legs. Come on, this is sexual depravity. It is. Because it's all about sex. That's all it is. But I've also seen women that you can see clearly they used to be morbidly obese. And the only difference now is they have a flat stomach from waist trainers. And their ass and their legs are just full of cellulite and unexercised muscles. I mean, man, all because you, it's too much. But none of it is love. None of it is love, dude. Like none of it is love. Do I, Sadie Fayette, want a partner that's attractive? Yeah, but I got shit to work on myself. I'm not what I used to be. And I struggle with it because I'm always cooking for children. So I'm giving myself some time, but when I'm back to myself, I want my equal. Or do they have to be perfect? No, because I won't be perfect. I'm 50, I'm almost 54. I'm going to come with some of the elements of aging, but I'm going to be beautiful. So I want him to be handsome, but I don't expect him to be Captain America and shit. And what's more important, how about I want him to be loving? How about I want him to be the type of person that loves family life? naturally. And I'm not going to go any more into what I want, because players know how to give you the semblance and the word of what you know what I mean? They know how to pretend very well. So no, I don't want to. I'm going. God knows, and I know, and I'm gonna wait for God to send the right one, because it's gonna happen organically. It's not gonna happen through game. I'm so sick of game. You'll get cursed out so bad, think messing with me. But we have to be present in our love life the same way we're present. If okay, if you're the kind of person that always wants to be a mother, but when it comes to men, you always choose men that cheated on you because maybe your father was always cheating on your mother and your mother was a church woman, right? So she was committed to God, but he wasn't. So she suffered being with a man that cheated all the time, and he had a good woman and didn't deserve it. And she could never be fully happy with him. And he was happy with her because she was good to him. Do you want to sign up for that? Are you that lonely that that's what you want? Because he's so fine, you can understand why everybody wants him. He's so fine, but you have no peace when it comes to his habits and what he will do against you in the streets. We have to bring real life to religion, to spiritual understanding, to our choices. Be real. Know that all of the people you have attracted up to this point have been a reflection of whoever was the toxic one or ones in your primary years, and reject them. Let me tell you something. I just got rid of, and not just got rid of, because I wasn't on good terms with 3 people that had offered me relationships, one of which it was really just about being two of which it was about being a player, mostly about sex. One was an ex who claimed he wanted to be in relationships, but he did a relationship, but his habits, right? He had anger issues. I had never experienced it, but he had anger issues. I could feel it because I've grown so much. Like my soul, my intuition, and all I could feel. And I would ask him, but you have some pent up anger issues. And he would just try and dismiss it by telling me, well, you can't really raise children by yourself. Negro, I've been raising children. My children are almost grown. I've raised them from children, from babies by themselves, by myself. Mm-mm. But when we hear something like that, if we're not present in the moment, we're not paying attention, we'll be like, oh, he want to take care of it. He want to be a daddy. He want to be a husband, right? But what our intuition tells us, it's like, no, you're thinking about somebody else, or you're being too hard on him. Look how sincere he is. He's so consistent with what he's saying. That's because he has never changed from whatever he ever was. So what he ever was is consistent. It doesn't change. And even with the player, he doesn't change. His game doesn't change. So it feels almost stable. His lies feel stable because it's what he always spits to get in with somebody who is also not paying attention, just like you weren't paying attention. I'm paying attention. So I had an epiphany overnight last night, and I blocked all of them shits from my phone, from my Facebook pages. You hear me? From my Instagram. Block, block, blockety block. This morning, first thing, done. Because sometimes when you've done it, and I loved one of them more than I was interested in the other 2. But, it couldn't work. It still wasn't right. And I don't have time to be every so often in my life, missing you, going to your page, checking you out. For what? So I can then be trapped in maybe I shoulda, coulda, woulda, tried to make this whole work in my life? No, absolutely not. Don't want that. I'm not interested in players. I'm not interested in somebody who's just going to keep up a bunch of drama. First of all, second, that's not even the first of all, that's really the secondly, because the first of all is I have almost grown daughters. You ain't coming to fuck around my children, and you have a sexual addiction. How about that? You're not coming around me or my children if you're an alcoholic. How about that? If you even mention anything to me about having to hit something, no, no. Or even if I just feel something in my gut about you, no, thank you. Block, because I don't need you even thinking that something is here that you're pursuing. You need to, come on, be present in your life when it comes to what you want in a relationship. Get to know what you like in your life. Stop settling for whoever shows up in friends or family. Some of you, some of us have family that love to take from you, love for you to overgive to them because you're a giving person. And they give the least, if nothing, back in return, except their spite and their bile and their abuse. They got to go. I block those kind of people too from my family. I don't fuck with none of that. And if my mother says, "Oh, I think we should all Zoom with me and blah 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 and blah blah blah," I'm like, "I'm sorry, my children and I would love to Zoom with you, but I don't fuck with them." That's exactly how I talk. No disrespect to my mother, but at this age, I do curse because I want you to feel and know exactly what I mean. I don't fuck with them. But let's Zoom with you in 30 minutes, okay? And we have a good time. Same people have a good time together. No, I don't just take credit. I don't care who the crazy is. No, thank you. Crazy, not interested. Very few friends from my life are still friends today because the events of life, right? The growth of myself has caused them to either, God is just. If God oh, I can't even talk. If God reaches into your life and plucks someone out of it, let them go. You don't go chasing after them. Why you haven't called me? I haven't talked to you in 2 years. When somebody makes this kind of excuse, well, I have certain friends I only talk to every 5 years, and every time we talk, we still good friends. Okay. Because everybody has the kind of friends they like talking to often. Trust. What they're really saying is you're not that one. You're not that kind of friend to them. Okay? Wake up, be present, be wide awake in your life. Listen to what people tell you. If someone is telling you, in essence, they ain't got to say exactly, I don't want to be your friend. But if everything they do and everything that they say makes you feel like that, that's the truth of it. Block, block, blockety block. Gone. You have to honor yourself above everybody else. And one of the last things I'm learning when it comes to children is that if your children are old enough to be on their own for a few hours, how about you have a few hours of peace every day? Shit. My children know how to cook at this point. Okay? Because they drive me crazy enough. And I'm such a family oriented person. I love us spending time together. Having a family is very important to me. I love my children. They're some of my favorite people. They are. But we're not triplets and shit. We're not exact replicas. So we're going to brush up against each other. We're going to have friction. And when we do, God blessed us with enough space that everybody has their own space. Isn't God good? Yes, He is. So that's what I wanted to say. We just have to, the human race, everybody needs to transform themselves from what the world turned them into from birth into what they're supposed to be, which is a righteous soul, someone that seeks the positive, the best, and the absolute truth. You can't, and let me give you an example of what is not the absolute truth. Black people are racist too. Stop. Racism is not about you don't like me because I'm black and you're white, you're racist. You don't like me, black people, because I'm white, you're racist. No. Am I killing you? Do I stop you from getting a job so you can support your family? Do I tell people lies about the color of your skin that makes you feel like and everybody to mock you for it because it makes you less than? Have I made sure that in the education of your children and you, only people that look like me are emulated and held as examples, and very rarely are people like you used as an example? And even if you get to work in companies where people mostly look like me, you're talked about and nitpicked so much is terroristic. That's racism. Okay? Black people don't treat anybody like that. Maybe each other to a some degree, but not, in the real way. Okay? Stop. Learn how to take the actual truth of this environment of the earth. We are not going to heal nothing by saying, oh, just don't focus on the problems and the struggles of humanity. Just focus on the fact that we're all one. We all have one God. And if we meditate enough, we'll all get along. No, we won't. You are not going to meditate racism out of a racist person. You'll help them to self-focus more to get the things they want out of life. But that doesn't eradicate racism. That doesn't eradicate sexism. That doesn't eradicate pedophilia. That doesn't eradicate domestic violence. That's not going to solve the problem of being morbidly obese and overeating and drug abuse. Okay? So be real when it comes to love. I only use that as an example to show you that this world has a lot of problems and they're deep seated. It's going to take a long time, but we need to get on the path of improvement and truthful improvement and looking at our lives in a real, honest way so that what we produce is deliberate and is of the right energy and vibration to cause change, period. Same thing with love. So I wanted to read one of my poems that has to do with transformation. It's called The Death. And in tarot, the death card is about transformation. And I love this poem so much. Let me move this. Oh, I don't need to. Okay. So let's see. Where's the thingy? I won't even use it. I'll use the arrows. Come on, I'm in this. Okay, there we go. The Death. Okay, so this poem, some of my poems are rhythmic, and this is one that's like that. So first I'm going to read it slowly so you know what it is that I'm saying, and then I'm going to read it at a faster pace so you can hear the rhythm because I really love the rhythm. Okay, The Death. The rain is falling down like my tears needing ease. all my brilliance flowing now, giving justice released. And I'm walking by the trowel, standing tall under eaves, though my tears are dropping down, sprouting seeds. This storm has brought a shift. There's a chill in the breeze, and I'm taking in the heat, standing off from disease. As my blessing faces me, visions brought do appease, as the rain is falling down, like my tears giving ease. My life's expanding far, there's no time for your low. I'm embracing freedom now, a path deliberately chose. And if only you could see the many places I'll go, you'd be here along with me, reflecting glows. And so the rain is falling down, but I won't slow my pace. I'm embracing brilliance now. I've given up on the chase. Though I'm walking by this trowel, the eaves caressing my face, because my fears are leaving now. Love clearing space. Okay, now I'm gonna, I love this poem. Oh, sorry. I love the beat of it. Now I'm gonna read it at a faster pace. Okay, where is it? Okay. The rain is falling down like my tears needing ease, all my brilliance flowing now, giving justice released. And I'm walking by the trowel, standing tall under eaves, though my tears are dropping down, sprouting seeds. Oh God, my voice kind of cracked. I'm sorry, I'm gonna start over. I'm sorry. The rain is falling down like my tears needing ease, all my brilliance flowing now, giving justice released. And I'm walking by the trowel, standing tall under eaves, though my tears are dropping down, sprouting seeds. This storm has brought a shift. There's a chill in the breeze, and I'm taking in the heat, standing off from disease. As my blessing faces me, visions brought to appease. As the rain is falling down, like my tears giving ease. This life's expanding far. There's no time for your low. I'm embracing freedom now, a path deliberately chose. And if only you could see the many places I'll go, you'd be here along with me reflecting glows. And so the rain is falling down, but I won't slow my pace. I'm embracing brilliance now. I've given up on the chase. Though I'm walking by this trail, the eaves caressing my face because my fears are leaving now. Love clearing space. Thank you for coming in. Let me know how you like my content in the comments. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Peace.